Hey, I'm Trey. Today I'm going to attempt to fix one of my PlayStation Vitas. I have a red PlayStation Vita here that you can see will not power on. I've tried multiple things like hard resets, leaving it plugged in overnight, and no power. I know I'm using a known good power adapter because on here you can see normally you should get a orange light on the PlayStation logo, but this one does not. I know it's a good power adapter because on a different same model PlayStation Vita, plug it in, you will get that orange charging light. I've isolated the issue to one of two things, and the only way to test it is to try this one. It's either, in my opinion, got to be the battery itself that's no longer taking a charge, which would make sense. I mean, the Vita, this is an original model Vita that came out, I think, in early 2012. So we're coming up on 10 years. For a small lithium-ion battery like that, I can see why it's no longer taking a charge, if that's the case. The only other reasonable suspect would be not the battery, but the actual charge pins. Like, the charger's good. And this is Levi. He likes to get involved. If it's not the battery itself, and we know we've got a good battery in here, then my suspicion would be the charge pins. With these original model PlayStation Vitas, they do use a very proprietary charger. So it's not something that you can find you have anywhere. It's not a lightning adapter or a USB-C or a micro USB like, you know, most things now. It's a 30-pin, but not like the iPod 30-pin, very specific charger. So I've got this battery from iFixit, so it's been shipped in an electrostatic safe bag. Alright, so here we go. Now, in a professional environment, I would be doing this on an electrostatic discharge safe mat. However, this is my home, and at the current moment, I don't have that. Now, like most electronics, these screws go in very specific orders, so you want to try to keep them separated so you know where they came from for when you put them back. And on this Vita model, you'll make sure to remove all SD cards and games that you have. You've got two here on the bottom, right next to that charging pin. Two on the top next to another kind of proprietary connection. I think it was made for like external VR editions. Or not VR, augmented reality editions. I can't remember any game that utilized it, but I'm sure someone in the comments can tell me a good game that used that top connector on the original PlayStation Vita. And then there's four on the back next to your handles. Two by the left side and two by the right side that hold the back plate on. Now be very careful when you open this, because when you open it, the back plate to its touch capacitive rear. If anyone remembers, on the rear of a PlayStation Vita, you could touch the back. That was part of like its gimmick, was that on games you could use touch screen games without actually having to put your fingers in the way of your game. When you pop off the plastic, you'll see it's right there. So there's one holding the touch capacitive rear and one that holds down the battery itself. We've got a small problem. So on my battery connection, one of the plastic pieces, that last tooth, has broken off and it's caught where I'm gonna plug in the new battery. So I have to get that out without breaking any of the pins. I don't think this tool is small enough to do it. It is. Got it. Now, on that rear plate, the battery itself actually has one plastic screw holding it in. So we'll remove that. And it's got a very proprietary screw, it looks like. It might be a grounding screw because it is a different color. And we'll just make sure that we feed everything through the right way. We'll remove this. Be very careful with lithium batteries. You never want them to be swollen when you mess with them. All right, the old battery is out. There she is. Now, to install the new battery. Before we close it up all the way, we will make sure that we get that confirmation orange light that it is charging. Okay, so it'll be this side. I will say game systems are a little bit harder, especially mobile ones, because so many components are plastic and you're just always so nervous about breaking a plastic piece off. At least I know I am. All right. And now we'll plug it all back in. Touch capacitive piece plug back in as well. Now, I bought this Vita secondhand, and it almost does kind of look like somebody has already replaced this battery. So now that everything's plugged in, before we put the screws back on, let's test it out. And we've got orange charging. So it looks like that was the problem. It was just a bad battery. And hey, I'm all for that. I would much prefer to replace a battery than have to start soldering stuff on this board. So, hey, successful repair. Thanks for watching.